Here we see an alternative interface into the web shop data. This is for the administrators, and it is using a record of what was purchased at different schools. So if we look at the schools here, we have 125 different schools here, and then we have it's just 5 different words that they're working out of. So what's interesting here is to say Schooler som köpt icke godkända artiklar. So these are artiklar. These are basically ones who bought something that was not on the approved list. So they bought something out of that. So what's interesting though is to ask this. So there's 122 of those, but then we can say the schools that did not buy anything. So these 3 schools here actually did perfect in terms of sticking to the approved list. So let's look at some other examples here. So let's look at the example of total kostnad of inköp and then we'll do this per månad. Okay, so what this gives us, this shows us a graph here. So this, we can actually see here the sum of the total amount that was purchased of all the schools in the period going from September to October. Unfortunately, we only have two months of data, but we should be able to fill this out with lots of historical data soon enough. So what we can do here is if we want to, we can basically narrow this down. So this is just the amount that's purchased over all the schools, and what we could do is we could narrow it down maybe to Södertälje. So then if you look at the paraphrase here, this will show you the total sum. So Södertälje is taking a pretty large chunk of it. Okay. So another thing that we can do is we can look at the total amount of inköp of articles from Europe. So what's really nice about natural language interfaces, you can just come in and you can put that condition in there. So this is giving us the total amount of the articles that were from the country within the region of Europe, and we're grouping by month. So we see that we're actually increasing the amount that we're buying of European products over the whole aggregate. So if I say that maybe that the articles that basically the total cost of the articles that are not from Europe, so this will take a little while. So right now it's thinking. So this will give us the total amount that was outside of Europe that was bought. And that's actually holding constant, which is pretty good. So if you sum the numbers, you'll find that this is indeed correct. So in other words, the total amount that's being by month, for instance, September, the one that's from European articles and non-European articles, if you add the European articles and non-European articles, you get the total amount. So this is a verification that this is actually working. So what we can also do here is we can basically go down and we can start then looking maybe, okay, the articles that are from Europe, and then what we might want to do is we might want to say, okay, so that's good, it's going up, but is everybody doing that? So let's look at Södertälje, for the schools in Södertälje. They're basically respecting that trend, which is nice to know. However, I found here that the schools in Horna are not respecting the trend. So they're not buying more European products for some reason or another. Okay, so that might be something that you would want to look at. Okay, finally, let's just do the following. Let's look at these right here, the ones that are from Horna. And what we can do, instead of basically doing it by grouping by month, we can basically also do it by land. So this shows us right here you have to kind of look at these things here. Unfortunately, the label's not there for Denmark, but we're just showing the proportion of when they buy European products, the proportion of them coming from different countries. So Sweden, they're getting most of their products from Sweden. So what's kind of interesting here, though, that's for Enhorda. Let's see how that changes if we just look at the whole total sample. Okay, so there might have been some changes there. So what you can do here through this querying is you can really kind of narrow down, try to look at trends, try to get a sense of kind of what's going on, and then you can ask specific questions over what the purchasing decisions were as particular schools as well. So this will all be a lot better once we have more data. So once we have more than just 2 months, we have maybe a 2-year period, then there'll be a lot more interesting questions that can be asked here and a lot more useful analysis. Okay, thank you.